Thank you for viewing this Regis online training on managing difficult situations and at-risk students. We'll be focusing on the first two goals for this online training, which are recognizing and differentiating levels of concern and familiarizing ourselves with resources. There will be other on-the-ground and Zoom training opportunities for more in-depth case studies and skill building. We use the language of levels to help differentiate a general group of at-risk behaviors or traits. These levels are not all-encompassing, and a student can often present different aspects of different levels. Level 1 situations can often be managed by faculty and staff. Often, students at a level 1 simply need someone to listen to them and support them. They cannot navigate these issues on their own, but with some guidance or referral to another office, they may be able to manage the issue without it escalating. These level 1 issues still need to be addressed, and most times documented in Starfish. We encourage faculty and staff to use their judgment. Not everything is a 911 crisis. Level 2 cases are elevated from level 1. These are times where you may not be able to manage or contain and should be working to connect a student with resources more directly. As seen in the examples in red, students are dealing with more chronic or emergent issues. A student who may have presented with homesickness in level 1 may move to more general mental health concerns or could begin failing multiple classes. Many times, issues at level 2 are not isolated and could encompass a few issues on the list. In a level 2 response, we move from support and contain to respond and inform. These students may need more immediate assistance. We encourage you to know when you are out of your depth or comfort zone. You should not be managing these situations on your own, for your own good and for the good of that student. Level 3 cases are the cases that will change the course of your day. For many faculty and staff, they may not be directly involved with the crisis moment of a level 3 situation, but if you are working with a student who's experiencing this higher level concern, that student will inevitably need support in your class. These situations that you should not be dealing with alone, and that in almost all cases, your first call is to campus police or another crisis response team. I do want to take a moment to speak about reports of sexual assault and violence. Students often do report first to a faculty or staff member they trust. No matter how many times you've had a person disclose sexual assault or violence, it never gets any easier. There are a few critical things to remember if a student does disclose to you. First, you are private, but not confidential. You do need to tell either Adam Thrasher, the Title IX coordinator, or a member of the Dean of Students' office. If you know this information, Regis knows this information. Second, your main job is to make sure that student feels safe and supported, and then to get them to a person who can help with continued resources and options. On campus, the Counseling Center is a great place to bring the student, or to Student Affairs. Online students can utilize Talk 1-to-1, which we will discuss in a few moments. Again, a level 3 incident calls for immediate action. Calling campus police is the best way to connect to an on-call response for on-the-ground students. Or for online students, you could call campus police to connect you with that student's local police department, or call 911 if it is an emergency. We want to share resources to utilize as you support students. The link to our Sexual Misconduct Resource Guide is on this slide and is a great reference for not only contact information, but general information about sexual misconduct, Title IX investigations, and the accommodations available. There are a multitude of on-campus resources for students. Many members of the offices listed here are also part of our Regis case management team, which meets weekly to discuss individual student cases raised by faculty and staff through starfish flags and larger campus climate concerns. Our online students have resources available to them as well, with dedicated support teams for each student. I want to particularly point out Talk One-to-One, which allows online students to be referred to a counselor in their area for 6 free counseling sessions. For those incidents which require an immediate on-call presence, Student Affairs has an on-call rotation 24 hours a day, 365 days a year. The best way to alert the on-call team is by calling campus police. These professional staff members are also available for overnight and after-hours communication and response. As mentioned in the Level 3 scenarios, online faculty can call either campus police or 911, depending on the nature of the issue. Level 4 cases are campus-wide emergencies. These go beyond an individual student or a small situation and have more of a global effect. Many times, these would call for a campus-wide shutdown. In these cases, campus police will be managing and directing the response, and faculty and staff will be notified of next steps. As we close, we want to remind you of a few key points. We encourage you to manage what you can, but always refer and ask for help when you need. Documenting and informing campus partners is key for our students to be successful and well supported. You interact with students on a daily basis in many capacities. Trust your judgment. If something feels off or you have a concern, please let us know. These situations can be difficult to manage. We encourage you to take care of yourself. The link to our guide for faculty and staff is on this slide and is located in Regis resources. This guide describes the supports available to students experiencing specific challenges such as anxiety, learning difficulties, harassment, and other concerns. Our key contacts page lists both online and on-the-ground staff available to support you and our students in these challenging situations. If you have a question or a concern about a process or a student, please do not hesitate to reach out. We thank you for listening to this training and for the work you will do to support our students.